and welcome to Cozy Love Whispers. Settle in, get comfortable, and let tonight's chapter unfold by the fire.
Chapter 5, The First Promise, Nikolai. The rose sat in a slim vase by my bed, its petals still blushing pink even in the morning light. I had carried it home like it was something fragile, precious. And it was. Every time I looked at it, my stomach fluttered with warmth I couldn't name. I couldn't believe I had agreed to go out with Alpha Zan. I didn't know why I kept letting him get close, why it seemed like something inside me wanted to obey him, to please him. It was as if I would have a hard time ever saying no. My body acted on instinct, answering the pull of an alpha I couldn't resist. I told myself I needed to be careful. I didn't know what his intentions truly were, and yet, being near him, speaking with him, felt natural. Too natural. Like my soul itself whispered yes to anything involving him. When I came home last night and told my parents an alpha had asked me out on a date, I braced for major pushback. My whole life, they had cautioned me about alphas, but to my surprise, they both agreed. Even my father, which shocked me most of all. My mother's eyes had filled with tears. She told me I should go, that I deserved to be cared for. Strange. Everything felt strange ever since I laid eyes on that alpha. Even my own family was acting differently. I couldn't believe this was happening to me. And yet, if I was honest, I was happy. Smiling. Things felt brighter than they ever had before. For once, I wanted to enjoy it, to enjoy being with my alpha. I froze. Wait, my alpha? Why would I say that? Alpha Zan wasn't mine. I shook my head quickly. I didn't know what was happening to me, and I refused to overthink it. By the time I got to the cafe, my coworkers noticed. "You're smiling too much today," Sarah teased, nudging my side as I tied my apron. "What happened, little Nick? Did someone finally sweep you off your feet?" Heat shot straight to my cheeks. No, I stammered, fussing with the knot of my apron. "Nothing like that." "Uh-huh," she said, grinning knowingly. "Then why do you keep blushing like that?" I ducked my head and busied myself behind the counter, hoping the rush of morning customers would distract everyone from me. But it was impossible to push away the memory of yesterday. The way Alpha Zan's eyes had looked at me, steady and unshakable. The way he'd set that single rose down on the counter like it was the most natural thing in the world. "For you." I pressed my lips together, trying to keep from smiling again. Why had I said yes so easily? I barely knew him. And yet, when he asked me to go out with him, the word had tumbled out before I even thought about it. Yes. Now the promise of tomorrow hung in my chest like a secret flame, warming me even as it made me restless. I glanced at the door more times than I cared to admit, half expecting him to walk in. He didn't. But the thought that he might, at any moment, made my pulse quicken every time the bell above the door chimed. I couldn't deny it anymore. Something had changed. And no matter how much I tried to tell myself it was nothing, deep down, I knew my world had shifted the moment Alpha Zan had walked into it. By the time I walked home from the cafe, my nerves were in a knot. Tomorrow had turned into today, and tonight I was supposed to meet Alpha Zan. I slipped into my room, pulling open the small wardrobe. What was I even supposed to wear? Everything felt either too plain or too formal. In the end, I chose something simple, a soft shirt in pale cream and my nicest trousers. My hands trembled slightly as I buttoned the shirt. A gentle knock came at the door. "Little Nick? Come in, Mom." She entered softly, her presence always warm, always careful. Her eyes lingered on me, and I saw the shimmer of tears gathering there. "Oh, my sweet boy." She reached up, smoothing my white blonde hair back from my face. "You look so handsome. My little Nick is growing up." "Mom," I murmured, embarrassed but touched. She cupped my cheek, her thumb brushing lightly across my skin. "I know we've always warned you about alphas. I know we've tried to keep you safe. But tonight, I want you to listen to your heart. If this young man makes you smile, if he makes you feel safe, then allow yourself to feel it. You deserve happiness, Nick." My chest tightened. But what if he changes his mind? What if... "Then he was never worthy of you," she said firmly, her voice suddenly strong. "You are rare, you are precious, and any man who cannot see that is a fool." I nodded, swallowing hard, her words wrapped around me like armor. Before I could answer, the sound of the doorbell echoed through the house. My pulse leapt to my throat. Mom smiled, kissed my forehead, and whispered, "Go, sweetheart. Let him see you."
The door opened, and there he was, my little Omega, framed by soft light, dressed simply but perfectly. For a moment, I forgot how to breathe. In my hands, I held a bouquet of roses, all pink, every shade from blush to deep rose, gathered carefully and bound with a silk ribbon, his favorite color. "For you," I said softly, offering the flowers. His eyes widened, lips parting in surprise. He reached out with trembling fingers, clutching the bouquet to his chest, as if it were the most beautiful gift he had ever received. "Thank you, Hia," he whispered. His voice was small, but it lit every corner of my heart. "They're so beautiful." "Not as beautiful as you," I murmured, letting my fingers brush lightly against his soft cheek. A throat cleared sharply. I glanced up to see Nikolai's father standing there, arms folded, his gaze as sharp as steel. "Zan, how nice of you to come pick Nikolai up," he said evenly. "It's my pleasure, sir," I replied with quiet respect. "I promised to bring him back at a respectable hour." His father gave a single, measured nod, though his eyes told me more than words. "Hurt him, and you'll answer to me." Nikolai's mother stepped forward, gently taking the bouquet from her son. "I'll put these in water for you, sweetheart," she said softly, her smile warm, but her eyes misty. Then, turning to me, she added, "Have a lovely evening, both of you." I carefully helped Nikolai into his light jacket. The fall air was growing cooler, and I was glad he'd worn it. With a gentle hand at the small of his back, I ushered him out the door. As we walked away, I glanced back once. His mother was smiling through her tears, leaning into her husband's side. His father's arm circled her shoulders, but his eyes stayed on me, burning with that warning I understood all too well. If anything happens to him, there will be hell to pay. He needn't worry. I would keep my little Omega safe, always, even if it cost me my life. After opening the car door for him and making sure he was seated comfortably inside, I slid behind the wheel and started the engine. He looked so small sitting there beside me, so soft, so beautiful. Truly, he was the most breathtaking thing I had ever seen. His warm cinnamon scent filled the car immediately, rich and intoxicating. I drew a careful breath through my nose, trying to accustom myself to the heady sweetness of him in such a close space. It wrapped around me, seeping into every corner, until even the silence between us felt comfortable, glowing. He said softly, his voice delicate in the quiet. "Where are we going?" I smiled, keeping my eyes on the road. "Someplace special, love. A place I know you'll enjoy." He hesitated, fidgeting lightly in his seat. "Are you sure? I feel a little nervous." I reached over, wrapping my fingers gently around his small, warm hand. "You have nothing to be nervous about," I promised, my voice low and steady. "Hia will take good care of you. Hia will always make sure you're safe and happy." Bringing his hand to my lips, I pressed a soft kiss against his skin. The moment my mouth touched him, I felt the shiver that ran through his body. His scent spiked, sweet and strong, flooding the car until I had to take several deep, steadying breaths to keep myself calm. My little Omega, my soul bond, my forever. The ride was quiet, comfortable, his small hand still in mine. When we finally pulled up, his eyes widened in curiosity. It wasn't a crowded restaurant or a loud market. Instead, the building was tucked away behind ivy-covered walls, lanterns glowing softly along the path. Beyond the gate, the garden opened like a secret. Tables nestled among rose bushes and fairy lights strung through the branches overhead. The air was sweet with jasmine and fresh bread, the hush of water trickling from a fountain at the center. Couples sat scattered through the space, their voices low, their laughter soft. It felt like stepping into another world, private and safe. I opened his door, offering my hand. "Welcome, little one. This place is special to me. I wanted it to be special for you, too." He stepped out carefully, his fingers curling around mine, his wide eyes lifted, drinking in the scene before him. Lanterns glowed overhead, their golden light caught in the leaves of climbing ivy. Fairy lights twinkled between branches like a sky of stars brought low, and roses bloomed in bursts of color along the garden walls, their perfume drifting gently in the cool night air. The sound of water trickled from a stone fountain, a soft, soothing melody beneath the low hum of quiet conversation. "It's beautiful," he whispered, awe softening his voice. The glow of the lanterns reflected in his eyes, making them shine like moonlight. "Not as beautiful as you," I said honestly, guiding him toward the table I had reserved. It was tucked away in a corner, half hidden by tall rose bushes, secluded enough that the world seemed to fall away. A sanctuary within a sanctuary. I pulled out his chair, waiting until he was comfortable before taking my own seat across from him. His scent, warm cinnamon and honey, wrapped around me again, heady and sweet in this intimate space. I breathed it in, and the tightness in my chest eased, my soul settling as though it had finally found its home. I loved this place, always had. Its atmosphere soothed me, its beauty brought peace. But tonight was different. Tonight, I was here with him, my Omega, my love, radiant in the soft light. He stole my breath with every glance. I had never known joy like this, never had it so good as I did now. Fate had dealt me such a perfect hand. I truly didn't care that I would have no children, no legacy, no next generation to carry on my name. I had already made up my mind. There was only now, only him, and that was enough. More than enough. I would live a wonderful life with him. I would love and cherish him, protect him, give him every happiness I could. He would never want for anything. The thought made me smile faintly. Maybe we could get a dog or a cat. I even laughed under my breath at the image of him cradling a kitten in his arms, his smile soft and sweet. Yes, we would live a happy life together, one built on love, not legacy. Our world might not look like anyone else's, but I didn't care. We would make our own norm, our own forever. For a long moment, we simply sat in the glow of the lanterns, letting the silence stretch, not awkward, but warm, like a cocoon around us. His eyes lowered shyly, his fingers brushing along the edge of the menu as though he wasn't sure what to say. "You're nervous being with me," I said gently, leaning forward. His lips parted in surprise. I don't mean to be. I don't really do this. "I know," I murmured. "It's all right. You don't have to force anything. Just being here with me is enough. Just sitting here with you is so calming and so perfect." His cheeks flushed, and he gave the smallest nod, as if my words had loosened something tight inside him. Before he could answer, the waiter appeared, smiling politely. "Are you ready to order?" Nikolai looked startled, fumbling with the menu. I'll order for us both," I said smoothly, cutting in before his nerves could rise again. I glanced down at the menu, then tapped my choice, covering it with my hand so Nikolai couldn't see. "It's a surprise." The waiter nodded and left. Nikolai tilted his head, curiosity flickering across his delicate features. "A surprise?" I only smiled. "Trust me, little one, you'll like it."
When the plates arrived, the waiter set one gently in front of me. The scent hit instantly. Warm and golden, honey and cinnamon curling through the air in a wave so rich I forgot to breathe. My eyes widened. Oh, it smells so good. I stared down at the pastry, perfectly glazed, steam still rising from its flaky layers. The fragrance wrapped around me, achingly familiar. The same comfort I'd known since childhood, when Mom baked cookies to cheer me up. My favorite scent in the world. I blinked, opening my eyes wider as though I could drink it in. My lips curved into a smile so wide it surprised even me. "It smells like home." He-ah leaned closer, his gaze never wavering, his voice a low rumble that sank straight into my chest. "That's because it is, little one. It's what you are to me." My breath caught, my chest tightened. Home. To him? "What does that mean?" I whispered, the words slipping out before I could stop them. He only smiled, his eyes warm. "Try it. Tell me what you think." I reached down, lifting the soft pastry with careful fingers and brought it to my lips. The first bite melted on my tongue, flaky, sweet, golden with honey, laced with warm cinnamon, comfort and delight all at once. Heat spread through me, filling my chest, my belly, even the tips of my fingers. A small sound escaped before I could stop it. A soft, helpless moan. When I opened my eyes, Alpha Zan was staring at me, his jaw tight, his fist clenched on the table as though holding himself together by sheer force. "Hia, are you okay?" I asked timidly. The sound of my voice seemed to snap him out of it. He let out a harsh, shaky breath. "Yes, love, I'm fine, just enjoying seeing you happy." His voice was strained, low, almost rough with something I didn't understand. I blinked at him, confused. I wanted to ask again, to push, but the pastry pulled my attention back with its gooey sweetness, the taste calling me to take another bite. So I did. Slowly, savoring it, my eyes fluttering shut again in quiet joy. When I looked up, he was still watching me intently. His gaze was soft, yes, but there was something else in it too. Something deeper, something I couldn't name, but which made my chest feel warm and my stomach twist with strange, fluttering heat. We lingered over the pastry, and for a while it felt easy. Soft conversation, gentle laughter. Hia asked me about the things I liked. I told him I loved baking, cooking, decorating. He smiled at that, his eyes glowing with pride, as though I'd invented something priceless. "When you're ready, little one," he said quietly, "I'd like to invite you to my home." "Your home?" I echoed, hesitant. "Yes, my home." His voice softened, almost reverent. "There's a special room I want to show you. A room I think you would love." Then he spoke of himself. Not in the way some alphas brag. No list of accomplishments, no boasts. Just quiet truths. He told me he ran a company, though he didn't go into detail, that he loved his work, but it often left him cold, until recently. That cinnamon had always been his favorite scent, ever since his mother made pastries to welcome him home from school. And that he thought fate had a strange sense of humor, giving him that comfort again, in me. He told me about his house, a place with a wide garden and a lake at its edge, secluded because he valued his privacy. It had been in his family for generations, passed down and renovated, but when he finally moved in a few years ago, it had never felt like a home. As he spoke, I found myself picturing it, a large quiet house waiting for warmth. And before I could stop myself, I imagined decorating it, bringing color and life into it, filling it with laughter and light. I didn't understand why I thought like that, why the thought of giving him a home made my heart ache. This was just our first date. I didn't even know his intentions yet. And still, his words sank deep, curling into the corners of my chest I'd never let anyone touch. When the meal was done, he stood and offered his hand. "Come. There's something I want to show you." I hesitated, then slipped my hand into his. His palm was warm, steady. I followed him through the garden and out a quiet gate where a path opened onto the water. The moon lay across it like silver, rippling with every breath of wind. The night air was cool. I wrapped my arms around myself without thinking. He noticed instantly. "You're cold." Before I could protest, he tugged me gently into his arms. Heat enveloped me at once, his chest broad and solid beneath my cheek. I froze. My whole body trembled. Without thinking, I buried my face into the curve of his neck, and the moment his scent hit me full, sharp and sweet, I nearly came undone. Warm cinnamon honey exploded through my senses. Something primal surged inside me, something I had never felt before. My mouth watered. Gods, I wanted to bite him, claim him like I'd only ever heard whispered in old stories about mates. But we weren't mates. That wasn't supposed to be us. Panic and longing warred in me. I gasped and pulled back quickly, shaking my head, trying to clear it. My body was still trembling, my mouth aching with the need. I turned away, sucking in desperate breaths of cool air to chase the overwhelming scent of cinnamon and honey out of my lungs. I don't know what just came over me, I whispered, ashamed.
My little Omega turned from me, and though it stung, I understood. I hadn't thought when I pulled him in like that. Hadn't realized I'd pressed his face right against my scent gland. His reaction was instinct, pure and unshaped. He didn't know it, but for a moment, he was pulling closer, almost as if he might mark me. The thought nearly undid me. Gods, I wanted it. wanted his sweet teeth in my skin, his claim on me forever, but it was too soon. He didn't even know what we were yet. He didn't understand that this was the call of the fated bond, the way our bodies yearned for each other, two halves of one soul, aching until we were whole. It was time. I had to tell him. "Little one," I said softly, stepping closer, my voice low with certainty. "I know exactly what came over you." His head snapped up, wide eyes searching mine. You do? I'm sorry." "No, love." I cupped his cheek, forcing his gaze to hold mine. "Look at me. There is nothing to be sorry for. Nothing." I stroked my thumb along his skin, grounding both of us. "I need you to just listen now. Don't speak. Don't run. Just listen." He swallowed hard, breath trembling. I felt his heart racing beneath my palm. "There's a reason you feel this way," I whispered. "A reason you trembled in my arms. A reason my scent pulls you, and yours drives me half mad. A reason I can't stay away from you, no matter how I try." His lips parted. "What reason?" I leaned close, my forehead brushing his. "Because you're not just any Omega. You're mine, my soul bond, my fated mate. You're my Omega, and I'm your Alpha."
The world seemed to tilt. My breath caught in my throat, my heart hammering so hard I thought it might break through my ribs. Mine, soul bond, fated mate. The words echoed through me, each one striking something deep inside, something I didn't even know was waiting. "No." My voice came out in a whisper, too thin, too shaky. That's just a story. Something people tell children. That doesn't happen in real life. What are you saying? That can't be true." My throat closed, the words tumbling out fast and desperate. "I'm a boy Omega. I can't have a fated mate. I'm not your mate. You need children, a legacy. I can't give you that. I can't give it to anyone. I can't be anyone's mate." I tried to step back, but his hands were steady, gentle, anchoring me in place. Maybe he liked me. Maybe he enjoyed spending time with me. But fated? Soulbound? That couldn't be real. Not with me. I was male, not the kind of Omega Alphas built legacies with. No one would ever give all of that up just to choose me. But his eyes never wavered, dark, certain, burning with something I couldn't name, but couldn't escape. "Little one," he said softly, "look at me." I did. I couldn't not. And when I did, something inside me gave way. His gaze wasn't heavy or demanding. It was home, warmth, safety, the very thing I'd been aching for without knowing it. This Alpha was everything. A shelter, a promise, a happiness I hadn't dared to believe in. His scent, his voice, the steady strength in his arms, everything about him called to me in a way nothing ever had. My throat tightened. Then why do I feel this way? I pressed a hand to my chest, trembling, like something's broken open inside me. He caught my arms firmly, holding me steady. "Look at me, little Omega." I squeezed my eyes shut, too afraid to face him. "Look at me. Now." The command rolled through me like a wave, and my whole body tensed. Before I could think, I obeyed, my gaze snapping up to meet his. My lips parted in shock. I hadn't chosen to do it. My body had moved on its own. His voice was steady, unshakable. "Do you see? Without thinking, your body answers me. Because I am your Alpha, and you are my Omega. We are soulbound. We are one." I stood there in stunned silence, his words burning into me. I had been around Alphas before, but never like this. Never with my body betraying me, obeying without thought. Never with my heart pounding so hard it hurt, my chest aching to be closer. I swallowed hard, my world spinning. I can't believe this. It's true. He's my fated. He's my Alpha. I stood there, dazed. The world around me blurred. The lanterns, the water, even the night air. All I could feel was him. His words still rang in my ears, steady and unshakable. We are soulbound. We are one. My chest rose and fell too quickly. My lips parted, but no sound came. My body trembled, but I didn't pull away. I couldn't. His grip softened, sliding from my arms to cradle my face instead. His thumbs brushed my cheeks as if I were something delicate, breakable. "Shh," he murmured, so softly it was almost a breath. "It's all right, little one. You don't have to say anything, not now." He bent his head and pressed a kiss to my forehead, lingering there, his warmth seeping into me. My lashes fluttered shut at the touch, and something deep inside me eased, even as confusion still twisted tight in my chest. When he pulled back, I found myself staring up at him in silence, my thoughts scattered, my voice gone. He smiled faintly, not triumphant, not demanding, just tender. "We'll take this one step at a time. You don't need to understand everything tonight, just know this." His hand slid down, taking mine gently. "You are safe with me, always." I let out a shaky breath, my fingers curling weakly into his. My head felt light, my body heavy, as though I were moving through a dream. I didn't answer, couldn't, but I didn't let go. And in that quiet, I thought, maybe fate wasn't a story after all. The ride home was quiet. Too quiet. My thoughts spun, colliding with his words over and over. Fated, soulbound, mine. It was too much, too big. I couldn't process it. I sat there, silent, his hand wrapped around mine the entire drive. His thumb stroked gently across my skin, steady and grounding, but I still didn't know what to say, how to be. When we pulled up to my house, he came around to open my door, helping me out with care. His arms slid around my shoulders, guiding me to the steps. When he rang the bell, I leaned into him without thinking, my face pressed against his chest. The scent of cinnamon wrapped around me, thick and warm. My body felt weak, heavy, almost sleepy, as if his presence alone lulled me into surrender. The door opened, my mother's voice, soft and surprised. My father's voice, deeper, firmer. I heard them speaking to him, but the words blurred together. I couldn't make them out. All I could do was cling tighter, sinking into the safety of his warmth. Then he gently pulled me back, and a faint whine slipped from me before I could stop it. Needy, desperate, foreign on my lips. His hands cradled my face, and even through the haze, I felt the heat of his palms seeping into my skin. "I'll check on you tomorrow," he murmured. And then, suddenly, I was no longer in his arms. My mother and father didn't pull me away. It was Melissa. Somehow she was here, her grip firm, steady, tugging me inside. "Little Nick," she whispered urgently, almost startling me. The haze broke like mist in sunlight. The cinnamon was gone. I blinked and realized I was on the living room couch, Melissa holding my hand tightly, my parents standing nearby. "What's going on?" I asked, my voice hoarse. "What? What happened?" My father's eyes were heavy, unreadable. "Little Nick," he said carefully, "what do you remember?" I sat up straighter, gently pulling my hand from Melissa's. My chest tightened as I looked between them all. My father's question hung in the air. "What do you remember?" I swallowed, my throat dry, and lowered my gaze to my lap. My fingers twisted in the hem of my shirt, buying me a little time. My voice cracked, and I had to start again. I remember the cafe. He brought me roses, pink ones. My lips trembled into a small, almost disbelieving smile. So many, like he knew. Melissa's hand squeezed mine, encouraging me to go on. I drew in a shaky breath. He took me out to dinner. It was beautiful, like something from a dream, and he ordered for me a pastry, cinnamon and honey. My chest tightened as the memory swelled inside me. It smelled like home, like safety. My mother's breath hitched, her hand flying to her lips. I forced myself to look up, though my vision blurred with tears. And then, he told me things. My voice fell to a whisper, things I don't understand. He said I was his, that I was his Omega, that we were... My voice faltered on the word, almost breaking. Soulbound. Fated mates. The silence in the room deepened, heavy with meaning. My father's jaw clenched, but he didn't speak. I shook my head, my hands trembling. It can't be true. It's just a story. And even if it was true, it couldn't be me. I'm a boy. I can't... I can't give him children. I can't give him a legacy. He should be ashamed just to say it. My mother's eyes filled instantly, tears spilling as she took a step closer. Oh, my little Nick. Melissa's grip on my hand tightened, her eyes shining with something I couldn't read. My father exhaled slowly, the sound like stone grinding in his chest. I sat there, trembling, lost and afraid. So why does it feel real? I whispered. Why does every part of me believe him, even when my head tells me it's impossible? My voice cracked as the words spilled out, raw and broken. If it's true, then I'll only be a burden to him, a disappointment. I can't give him a legacy. I can't carry his children. I'm a boy. I can't give him what he needs. I'll ruin him. I'll ruin everything. The last words dissolved into a sob. I'm already a burden to all of you. No! My mother's voice was sharp, fierce, trembling as she rushed forward and gathered me into her arms. She cradled me close, rocking me like I was still her baby. Her tears dampened my hair. Oh, my little Nick, don't you ever say that again. You are not a burden. You are our joy, our miracle. We have loved you since the moment you took your first breath, and we will love you until our last. Do you hear me? Her words tore something open in me, and I clung to her, shaking. But then her voice softened, breaking around the edges. But, little Nick, we haven't been completely honest with you. I stiffened in her embrace, my heart kicking hard in my chest. Slowly, I pulled back enough to look at her. Honest? What do you mean? The silence stretched, heavy. My father's gaze flicked to Melissa as if asking for strength. Melissa leaned forward, her hand still wrapped firmly around mine. Her voice was steady, though her eyes were gentle. It's time, Mama. He deserves to know the truth. All of it. He can't keep believing he's less than what he is. My breath caught. The truth? My voice shook. About what? Melissa's words struck the room like a bell. My father's shoulders stiffened. My mother's lips pressed tight. The silence stretched until I thought I would break under it. Finally, my father spoke, his voice low and weighted. Little Nick, you know you are rare. You've known that since you were a child. I nodded shakily. A male Omega. I know. My mother's hand smoothed over mine, trembling. But what you don't know is why your birth was such a miracle. Why we've guarded you so fiercely all your life. I frowned, confusion churning in my chest. What do you mean? Her eyes filled with tears again, her voice soft but steady. Because, little Nick, you're not like the other boys. You're more. You were born with the ability to conceive life. The room seemed to tilt around me. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. What? You can carry children, my father said firmly, though his eyes softened as they met mine. Just as female Omegas can. You were born with that same gift. My stomach dropped. My mind screamed denial, but my body went still. Frozen. No, I whispered. That's not possible. I'm a boy. My mother's hands cupped my cheeks, her tears spilling freely now. I know, sweetheart, but it's true. You are the first male Omega in generations not only to be born, but to be born able to carry life. I shook my head, my voice trembling. Why didn't you ever tell me? My father's jaw tightened, guilt shadowing his features. Because we feared what the world would do with that knowledge. People are cruel, little Nick. Some would see you as a prize to be claimed, a body to be used. Others would see you as unnatural, something to destroy. We wanted to protect you from all of it, so we told you what was safe, that you were rare, but not why. Melissa's hand squeezed mine again, her voice gentle but resolute. They kept it from you out of love, Nick. But now you need to know. Because fate has found you. Because you deserve to understand who you are. All of who you are. Her words rattled in my chest, and suddenly something sharp and hot twisted inside me. My head snapped toward my mother. Mom. My voice cracked. My second hole. The one under I couldn't finish the word. My face burned, shame and fear tangling in my throat. You told me that was normal. You said all boys had it. You said I was normal. Her face crumpled, her tears falling faster as she reached for me. Honey, you are not normal. You are special. Rare. There is nobody else in this world like you. There has never been anyone like you. You are a miracle, my little Nick. Please, don't doubt yourself. But the words only made the ache sharper. Tears blurred my vision, my chest heaving. My voice slipped out in a broken whisper. Then why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me something so important about my own life? About my own body? I pulled back, trembling all over. What if something had happened? What if someone tried to hurt me, and I didn't even know the truth about myself? About my own anatomy? My mother sobbed, pressing her forehead to mine, clutching me close. Because we had to protect you, she cried. We worked so hard to keep you safe, all of us, every day, every moment of your life. We watched over you to make sure nothing ever touched you, nothing ever harmed you. My father's voice rumbled low, steady, though his eyes were heavy with regret. We didn't want you to live in fear of what you are. We thought if you believed you were normal, you'd live free, innocent, untouched by the world's cruelty. Melissa stroked my hand, her thumb warm against my skin. Her voice was quieter now, but fierce. But Nick, innocence is not the same as ignorance. And now, you deserve to know the truth. All of it. Because you are not just rare. You are whole. And you are not alone anymore. The room was heavy with tears and truths. But as my mother held me, her hands shaking against my back, the sharpness in my chest began to soften. I sniffled. My forehead pressed to hers. I understand. You only wanted to protect me. My voice cracked, but this time it wasn't from anger. It was from love. And you did. You kept me safe all these years. Her sob turned into a shaky laugh as she kissed my temple. We would do it all again for you, my little Nick. I leaned into her touch, finally letting myself breathe. The ache didn't vanish, but it eased, replaced by something steadier, something that had always been there. Love. I forgive you, I whispered, my chest trembling. I forgive you, Mom. Dad. Melissa smiled softly, relief easing the lines of her face. She squeezed my hand again. That's our little Nick, stronger than you know. Silence stretched for a moment, warm this time. But then the weight of the night pressed back in. Zan's words, his eyes, the way my body had responded to him without thought. I swallowed, sitting up straighter. But now what? What do I do about him? About... My father's gaze was steady, though wary. First, you decide if you want this, if you want him. Fate may tie you, but choice matters too. My mother brushed my hair back gently. And second, we need to move carefully. Zan doesn't know the truth about you, about what you can give. He needs to prove that he wants you, not just what you carry. Melissa's eyes softened, almost glowing with pride. And from what I've seen, he already has. He came here, stood before your parents, and promised to give up everything, his name, his legacy, his future, just to be with you. He chose you without knowing. My head snapped up. Wait, what? You talked to him? Mom? Dad? When did you talk to him? My mother's expression gentled. He came to us 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I echoed, stunned. But I don't understand. Honey, she said softly, he came to our door to speak with your father and me. He told us who you were to him, his fated mate, and he asked for our permission to court you. Her words pressed down on me, thick and heavy, and Melissa's voice echoed them. He promised to give up everything, his name, his legacy, his future, just to be with you. My throat tightened, my heart squeezing almost painfully. He had chosen me, just me, but... My voice shook. He's an alpha. Children and legacy are everything to them. My father's deep voice rumbled, steady but sure. Son, he told us those things don't matter to him anymore. He told us you are the most important thing. That's all he wants. I sat in stunned silence, words failing me. I don't know what to do. My gaze darted helplessly toward my mother. Melissa, she said quietly. Melissa leaned closer, her tone gentle but firm. So, here's the plan. You don't tell him yet. Not until you're ready. Let him show you who he is. Let him prove his love, day after day. And when the time comes, when you feel safe and certain, you'll share the truth together. My chest tightened. Don't tell him? You want me to lie to him? No, honey, my mother said quickly, reaching for my hand. That's not what we mean. We just want to be sure it's you he wants, without conditions. He's spoken the words. Now let's see the actions. Let's see consistency. Her voice was warm, but steady, full of conviction. I wiped my eyes, breathing slowly. The storm in my chest quieted, replaced by something softer. Okay, I whispered. I'll wait. I'll watch. I'll give him the chance to prove it. My father's hand settled firmly on my shoulder. And we'll be right here, every step of the way. Whenever you're ready to tell him, you'll have our full support. I sat in silence, thoughts spinning. Then, almost without realizing it, my hand lifted, pressing gently against my flat stomach. So, I can have a baby, I whispered. The words felt strange, foreign, but they made me smile. In my mind's eye, I saw myself with a rounded belly, carrying Hia's child. The thought made my heart skip. A warmth spread through me, soft and secret. I nodded slowly, my heart pounding with both fear and something new, hope.
Thank you for listening to Cozy Fireplace Stories. If you enjoyed this chapter, please like and subscribe so you won't miss what comes next. Let your body relax and let sleep find you gently, without effort, without worry. I'll be right here. I'll meet you by the fire in the next chapter.